Manchester United have beaten Real Betis 1-0 and are through to the next round of the Europa League. It's done, and in fact, it was done from the first leg. The match was basically won already, and this match was essentially a formality. And in the end, just as I thought, this match turned out to be a nothing match in the end. It was a nothing match. Two teams facing each other. United had already qualified. The match was open. Yes, it was. It was end to end. There was a lot of spaces in the field today. But what I didn't see today was quality. We lacked clinical edge. In fact, both teams lacked clinical edge today. Like I said, the game lacked quality, but in the end, it doesn't matter. United won. It was a great goal from Marcus Rashford, a really good goal. But Marcus's performance wasn't good today. It wasn't. And we're going to have to talk about it. Like I said, we're going to talk about the game today. We're going to talk about the performance today. We're through to the next round. But on this channel, we're still going to talk about what went right and what went wrong today. Let's get into it, guys. If you're not... As usual, smash the like, turn on notifications, and if you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, do the damn thing and subscribe to the channel. United are through to the next stage. Like I said, we knew we were through to the next stage. This was a game that, we watched because we wanted to see how the guys performed, It was a very scrappy game. Like I said, it was open, end to end, but when it mattered, the players didn't have or didn't provide, from both teams, the necessary quality. Before we get into the game, let's talk about the lineup first and foremost. The changes from last games. I think almost all the back four was changed, apart from Martinez. Maguire came in for Varane, Malacia started, and Aaron Wan-Bissaka started. Many of you probably think that Aaron Wan-Bissaka deserves his place anyway to start. So we changed the back four. Fred and Casemiro and Bruno started in the midfield three. And we had Weghorst, Rashford, and Pellistri. Pellistri got a start today. I think it was probably deserved. I was looking forward to see what Pellistri can do. He looks quite tidy on the ball without being spectacular. And the goal he set up in the last match made me think, okay, let's see what this guy can do over a long period of time once he starts in the first team. So let's talk about the game now. Let's talk about the game. United started brightly, in my opinion, the first few minutes. Pellistri had the ball. If it wasn't for the lack of quality, we could have created better chances, better opportunities. He had the ball on the right wing. He overhit the cross. Rashford, within the first few minutes, overhit passes. So we created opportunities within the first even 7-8 minutes, really. But we didn't create chances. It was just the lack of final ball, the lack of quality decision-making that sort of let us down. Even the first few minutes, we started really brightly. But even though we started brightly, like I said, we didn't create an actual chance. We just had opportunities. And the first chance actually fell to Real Betis. And I noticed that United in general, under Ten Hag, we want to play with a high line, We started the season that way and we got slapped by Bournemouth and Brentford and we went back to square one and all of these things. With Maguire, when we play with a high line, as we all know, everyone on this channel will know, we are susceptible to the counter-attack even more. And today, as we're going to talk about today, we were just so open to the counter-attack even more than before. And I'm not trying to say just one player. It's not just Maguire. But Maguire's lack of mobility has a part to play. And the first chance that they created, I think around 8 minutes, their number 7 was put through on goal. I don't think it was Maguire's fault. Maguire stuck with him. He ran with him. I don't know where Aaron Wan-Bissaka was. He was completely missing. And, he missed. But that was a kind of pattern throughout the whole game. Every time they had the ball, they counter-attacked. It looked like they were going to score. they counterattacked from our free kick. I think around 10 minutes we had a free kick and they counterattacked again. So like I said, it was a pattern. The spaces were just there throughout the whole team. It was an end-to-end game. And like I said, the decision making was really poor. And Betis were really going for it. You can tell that they had nothing to lose. They were 4-1 down actually. 4-1 down from the first leg. The leg was, was pretty, the whole tie was basically over. So they had to go for it. And they went for it. And that's probably why as well the game ended up being so end-to-end. Fred was picking up some good positions. A lot of people talk about Fred in a negative way. You can hate Fred or you can love Fred. But what I like about Fred when he plays further forward is, one, it means he's not playing further back. It means because he's not press resistant with his back to goal. He's not. So Fred doesn't. We've seen it before. He's given the ball away, and we've conceded goals because of it. So in that number 6 position, Fred needs to stay away. But when he plays further forward, he's not the best shooter of the ball, and he's not even the greatest passer. But he picks up nice positions. He picks up good positions, and he's got a good touch. He can move the ball quickly, and in front 10 yards in front of goal, 15 yards in front of goal, he will probably score. And he can carry the ball, and he's got a good engine about him. So I like when Fred plays further forward. It's like when Kante can't really play DM. And I'm not comparing, well, I am clearly comparing them. They are similar in some ways, Kante and Fred. Kante is not a DM. You don't want Kante picking the ball up from the defense. You don't really want that. You want Kante doing this sort of the running, the box to box. And that's what Fred does. I think that's what Fred is good at. I like Fred when he plays more in the advanced position. But like I said, I think the first half for me epitomizes sort of bad decision making from both teams. When it mattered the most, 3 against 2, when you think you're going to make the right pass, we had people that were dribbling rather than passing. And we had people who were passing rather than dribbling. It was that kind of game today. So yeah, for me, that was the first half. The first half, if I was going to sum up the first half, it would be lacking clinical edge from both sides. It was both sides when they had the ball rushed. Man United, because I understand why Real Betis would just want to attack and just rush every time because time, right? They need to score at least 3 goals. But when United won the ball back, we did the same thing, and it just became a game, or at least the first half of pinball, where both teams are just rushing on the ball. Lack of composure on the ball. As soon as they had the ball, just get the ball, give it. No, relax, calm down. Not every time you want to, counterattack and lose the ball. Sometimes keep the ball a little bit. And I didn't really see that too much in the first half. It was just a lot of rushing, too much quick movements. Sometimes too quick for our own good. Lacking quality. So much quality in the first half was just not there from both teams, like I said. Even though, like I said, Real Betis were put through and goal a few times in the first half, and they had a few opportunities in the first half. Where was the quality finishing? So Ten Hag, surprisingly for me, he didn't make any changes in the first half. For the second half, which is quite. I thought he would take Casemiro off. Perhaps maybe he kept him on because he knows Casemiro will be suspended for the next, I think, 3 or 4 Premier League games. So maybe he thought, give him a full run out today because he'll be missing for the next 3 games. But I thought he'd make changes at halftime. He didn't. But yeah, let's talk about the second half. Second half started, for me, we started okay. Once again, we started the second half well. Rashford had a chance early on in the second half, around the 52nd minute. And he was, I think, put through, perhaps by Bruno. And I think this was the opportunity where he should have lifted it and dinked it over the goalkeeper, but he shot straight at the goalkeeper. And I think that sport brings me perfectly onto Rashford in my perspective, because Rashford today had one of his Rashford days. He had one of those days where he dribbled into players. He made the wrong decision most of the time. He dribbled when he should have passed. He passed when he should have dribbled. He shot when he should have passed. Nothing was working for him today. And he made the wrong decision, like I said, most of the time. But Rashford is a player who's very instinctive. He's a confidence player. He's not I'm not trying to be rude, but he's not a very calculated player in the sense that he relies on instinct and confidence to just do things off the cuff in the final third and dribble past the player and shoot, rather than being calculated with his movements. That's how I describe him. He's an instinctive confidence player. And we saw today, like I said, a Rashford, because Rashford has improved. He has improved, but he still does some of the same things he did a year ago and 2 years ago. And today was one of those games where if Rashford hadn't have scored today, we will be talking about how terrible a game he had, because he was bad today. His touch was bad. When he was put through on goal, he made the wrong decision. And we're going to talk about his chances. Like I said, we spoke about that one chance. And as soon as he had that chance, Real Betis had a near post header saved by De Gea, I think, from the corner, literally a minute after Rashford's chance. And then a few minutes after that, Rashford had another chance where he was through and goal. And I think the ball might have bobbled up a little bit to give Rashford the benefit of the doubt. To be fair to Rashford, it might have bobbled up and he blasted it over. And I was thinking to myself, okay, we've got the Rashford back. The Rashford of last year is back in this game. This imposter's come back. But like Rashford does, out of flipping nowhere, 2 minutes later, because all of this happened in about 10 minutes, all the Rashford chances. He just got the ball from about 25, 30 yards and he went, okay, cool. I've had enough of this crap. I've had enough. I'm done. And he just smashed it into the bottom corner. And I'm like thinking, all right, Rashford. Okay. All right. So you want to do the easy, you want to make the easy things look hard. But you want to make the hard things look easy, bruv. You want to score goals like that, but when you need to pass the ball 2 yards to somebody, you can't do that. Rashford is that player. Frustrating, but can produce moments like that. Say what you want. Some people like that kind of footballer. Some people don't. I don't know. You tell me. What do you guys think? Either way, whatever you guys think, the goal was sick. It was a good goal. Great goal. Rashford's having a really good season. And I want him to continue. He's happy. He's enjoying life. He's not a striker, but right now he's in a good vein of form and good luck for the lad. He's making United play better football. He's more than contributing his fair share to the team. He's contributing. He's scored more goals this year than he scored, I think, in any year. He's having a great season, the kid. He's scoring a lot of goals, but we must also understand that we must also look at football and not be caught up in emotion. We like what the kid's doing. We like the goals he's scoring, but we can always say the kid can do better, right? He can pass better. Everyone can. Everyone can do better. Nobody's, not open to criticism. Everyone can always improve, and that's what we're talking about here, But yeah, great goal. The game was done. I mean, like I said, the tie was done anyway. But after that goal, the game was done. Sabitzer came on. Sancho came on. Rashford and Fred. I don't know why Fred came off, but, I would have kept him on. But Rashford came off. He needs his rest. Sancho came on. He had nice touches. He did nice things. Later on in the game, he probably should have squared it. The chance he had when he, tried to shoot rather than square it. He might have been off. I think it was offside anyway. But Bruno came off for Elanga. And yeah, the game fizzled out, guys. There's not really much to analyze about the game. And you can't really, how do you analyze a game effectively where the game didn't really matter? Because as much as I say there's open spaces and we did this and we did that, a lot of it was mental. And it was because psychologically the players knew they were 4-1 up. No matter who you are, that changes you psychologically. You play a different way. And like I said, we played into their hands. We sped up the game. We did this counter-attacking thing in the first half, especially back and forward. We didn't need to do that. But I guess we had the cushion of the 3 goals to do it. And we won 1-0. We didn't concede at their ground. So as much as, the game lacked quality, yes, it did. Lacked clinical edge, yes, it did. And all of these things, we went to their ground and we didn't concede and we won the game and we were through. So yeah, all in all, of course, a really good day for Man United. In terms of the match itself, not the greatest match, but sometimes you don't care. We're through. So yeah, that's it. Onwards and upwards. We've got a game on Sunday, I think. And I will do another video on Sunday after our next game. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Have a good week. Share, like, subscribe, do all of these things. Who was my man of the match today? Fred had a good game before he was subbed off, you know. I liked his performance. I'm going to give it to Malacia. No one else is going to give it to Malacia. I don't think anyone else is going to say Malacia. You know, but I'm going to give it to Malacia. I could give it to De Gea. De Gea made a few good stops today as well. Pelestri worked hard today, but he just lacked a lot of quality in the end for me. Pelestri. Fred had a good game. Bruno had a good game, actually. Bruno was also sloppy, just like everyone else. Casemiro, I'm starting to notice Casemiro's form has dipped recently. It has. I've said it before, sort of 4 games ago, I've noticed the last 4 games, his performances have dipped. And not just because he's been sent off. He literally, against Liverpool, he was non-existent. He didn't play against Arsenal, but against Liverpool, he was non-existent. He hasn't had, the best of games recently. We definitely need a ball-playing midfielder. So if we go back in for De Jong, I wouldn't mind. Literally wouldn't mind. We need defenders. I believe Maguire and Lindelof have to go next season. We have to buy Premier League strong, quick players, for the Premier League. But yeah, that's my man in the match. Onwards and upwards, guys. I hope you enjoyed the reaction. Like I said, like, share, and subscribe. Turn on notifications. And onwards and upwards, like I always say. Anyway, have a good day. Have a good week. Enjoy the weekend. Peace out. Love, always. If you're not